Hey, hi guys, welcome back. All right, so Capricorns, this is going to be a highly specific message. It is going to be about love, but I kind of sat down and a little like meditation. I'll call it for each zodiac, and these are the things that came into mind for Capricorn. Um, so first, I saw like stones, like I don't know if it was like river stones or like pavers. Like maybe somebody does like walkways or things with like concrete and making pathways and walkways and such. Um, then it shifted to somebody who was like eating like a cinnamon roll, some kind of like a pastry. It definitely seemed like spiral. Maybe it was something that looks like pinwheel, but it was still like a doughy based pastry. I would have said it was a cinnamon roll. And then it kind of shifted to this idea that somebody was shopping for an early holiday gift or they had found one, but it's like they were doing like early wrapping of it also. Now, I don't know if this is just somebody who like really likes to pre-prepare like a long way, or if this was accidental that they found a gift and they're like, this is so perfect. Then I heard the words, this is somebody who would move heaven and earth, to like get what they want. But just the terms, I'd move heaven and earth. Then it shifted and there was like this, I actually felt the wind on me, but it was like somebody was sailing. I don't know if this was like on a river, if they have a small boat, a motorboat, but it was like, it was a windy day. But it was definitely a boat on the water, whether it was super expensive yacht or sailboat or small little teeny tiny rowboat. I don't know. It could have been any of those, but it was the wind and the being out on the water that was like very like vibrant in my mind. And then somebody was like either eating Thai food or Vietnamese food, but then there was like an argument over a recipe or a like somebody like okay, specifically the flavor of cilantro came up. And I know some people love cilantro, some people hate cilantro, but it was like an argument over like a spice like that that's highly contestable. It didn't have to be cilantro, but it's like, do you put it in the recipe or don't you? Is it yummy or is it not? Like that. So I don't know if somebody cooks a lot or if there had been arguments between like Capricorn and this potential lover about this or someone in Capricorn's realm. And then we also have somebody who's missing spooning, specifically like on a couch, like watching a movie, laying there spooning. That's like in particular, like there's a nice little like nuzzle thing that somebody likes to do. And then we had the color of either like graphite or like, silver, but with like little flecks of sparkle. You know how like pencil lead has a bit of a sheen to it. That's kind of like a color tone. I don't know if that's somebody's like maybe pewter or graphite or something like that. If somebody is painting something or if they like that color, if they're wearing, maybe it's jewelry of that color or a shirt that's kind of like gray but also has a sheen to it. But it was just that color tone seems to be appealing, but I was picturing it like in somebody's home. Okay, so that's how we start this out with just some specific details that maybe starts to tie together who this character is. Curiosity of Earth. So we've got this Page of Pentacles. We've got an Ace of Fire. So an Ace of Wands. We've got somebody out camping, by the way, and they could have fallen in love over like a weekend camping trip. This could have been like a passionate, goes from wow, this is fun, this is nice, to like, oh no, this is like all of a sudden I'm really passionately drawn to this person. Capricorn may have fallen for somebody while they were like outdoors or at a friend's house that was just putting together a fire pit. This somebody could have been literally working with a little hatchet and hacking up some wood or getting ready to like, strip down some sticks to make, s'mores or something on. But there's definitely an outdoorsy energy to this. I'm literally like smelling pine trees and, hearing like the crackling of like a bonfire or a fire that's outdoors. Okay, we have the Tower, Aries energy. This could have hit like a lightning bolt. It could have been a big stunner. Maybe this is somebody that either Capricorn saw them as a different personality type and then instead it's like, oh, that person's annoying, they're so egotistical, and then it's like, oh my god, no, they're actually really sweet. I definitely feel like we have a person who tends to come across as like kind of arrogant, but they actually have a really nice undercurrent to them when they drop the ego. I feel like this is somebody who dropped their ego with Capricorn. or will drop their ego with Capricorn, and then things are going to take off fast from there. Real sudden, real swift. Like, okay, wait a minute now. This is somebody I want to get to know better. This is somebody. This is like two people who kind of go from they're all right to like, oh, I'm super attracted to them. From the difference is like nightfall to the next day. It's like now they're the center of my world. I'm really drawn to this person. Four of Wands. Yeah, I almost think that Capricorn will like be at an event or something, be at somebody's house, like I said, whatever, getting together with friends, going camping, getting together a fire pit or something in someone's backyard, meeting this person, and it almost seems like they fall for each other really swiftly, but it's like other friends are there to witness it. It's like, oh man, we were there the day you two, I mean, obviously it was sudden fireworks. It feels like meeting somebody, seeing them in a different light, and by the very next day, it's like this person is obviously someone I'm really attracted to. That happened quickly. I almost think friends might razz Capricorn a little bit because this kind of seems sudden, and it could have even been that Capricorn said, oh, I don't like that person, they bug me, or that person seems rude, and then instead now Capricorn's fallen for them a little bit. It's definitely mutual attraction, but I do feel like there are friends that witness this and are like, or colleagues or coworkers, where it's like, well, sure seems like you two got cozy chit-chatting by the bonfire last night or at that event. Let's take a look just about how does this person, first off, who are they and how did they look at Capricorn? Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, Three of Wands, Knight of Pentacles. Either they are somebody who tends not to open up very much. They might have even been egotistical. They could also be an earth sign or possibly a fire sign, but they might be somebody who doesn't really talk to anyone. They could have acted like somebody who has a chip on their shoulder. They could be somebody that other people sometimes struggle to deal with as well. They may be masculine or feminine, but it's so interesting because I don't know that they usually let their guard down with anyone. I don't know if they're usually generous or nice with anyone. It almost seems like if they act stony faced, maybe that's why we have stones at the beginning, stones or pavers or something, and even like that like graphite color, maybe they have been kind of gray, like they gray people out or they go gray stone, or they give people silent treatment. Maybe they even acted for a long time like other people, they don't really talk to that much. This person could have a slightly difficult personality type, but it's so weird because we see a 180. It's like in 3 hours of interacting with Capricorn, they may think that it was really like a slow melting of the ice around their heart, or that attitude that they have, they themselves open up to people very quickly. But we see them becoming a King of Wands all of a sudden. This is way faster. And, normally Three of Wands is like 3 days to 3 months, but I almost feel like this is almost immediate, that either Capricorn just gets this person, even if they came across as rude, even if Capricorn thought that at first as well. I feel like Capricorn sees them differently. And sure enough, this individual morphs from somebody that is straight up rude to somebody who's like, wow, I really like this Capricorn. And all of a sudden they're like warm, they're approachable. I don't know that anybody else could have gotten this person out of their shell, or could have gotten this individual to start to like show something from their heart. I feel like this is something very special that Capricorn is able to do that. Oh, it's definitely special. It's a Two of Cups. They know that this is special too. I don't know if they have felt this way about anybody in a long time. And although it seems very fast, to me, it seems very fast. To them, they think that maybe they just think it's been a long time since they met somebody that they wanted to open up their heart for. With this Two of Cups, I mean, this is definitely like this. I know that this Capricorn is special. I know that there's something about the two of us. I don't know what it is, but I can feel this connection to Capricorn. I can see them as a Two of Cups. I'm very well aware. Aries energy. They keep shifting into warmer, more charismatic energy. They might be in Aries. But at first they came across as like super rude. Even not somebody who is willing to like help other people out. I don't know what their backstory was. I don't know if this is somebody who has been disappointed by a lot of people, so it's just like surly and doesn't believe in like giving people assistance or compliment, or you know, maybe they've been swindled before, and so they're like, look, I don't share anything with anybody. But I think that's not their natural state of being. I think it was a protective mechanism that they maybe employed for themselves. But meeting Capricorn, let me just ask, what is it about Capricorn that made you almost immediately warm up and become the King of Wands and become charismatic? Sag energy. I honestly, with Sag being the archer, it's like Cupid's arrow struck their heart. There is something so unique and so perfectly suited to them about Capricorn. I almost get this impression that we could be dealing with somebody who, let's say they were like ex-military or something along those lines, and they just kind of are self-contained and they kind of kept to themselves, and they kind of, they are somebody who would, that phrase, somebody who would move heaven and earth for an individual that they like choose to give their loyalty and love to, but otherwise it kind of seem very reserved to the point of being rude. But now they want to give. I feel like they want to be a protector. I feel like they want to give to Capricorn, and it is very much because something struck their heart about Capricorn. There's something very unique about Capricorn, and they know it. It's like at the bullseye. 8 of Pentacles. I don't know if it's the way Capricorn behaves, if it's the way Capricorn, like, I don't know if they had a conversation with Capricorn that was about something more serious, something more meaningful. I kind of get this image that this person doesn't exactly like fluff. They might be a hard worker. Well, so is Capricorn. In fact, at the beginning, if we go back to that Page of Cups, it's actually a little feminine here who's got that hatchet. And I said, I don't know if somebody's over there, hacking up pieces of wood and sticks and stripping them down to, make s'mores. Maybe Capricorn's very like, they look at what needs to be done and they go for it. They don't shy away from hard work. They, there's like a real rational, like this needs to be done. So you get up and you go do it kind of attitude. They don't shy away from hard physical work or anything like that. Very practical approach. And I almost can't help but wonder if one of the things that he talks with Capricorn about is work-related things. And it's like they both have this interesting like sensibility. I don't know, they could be talking about anything. Things that other people wouldn't find interesting, but maybe Capricorn does, because he's sitting here like a metal worker. He's got like a chisel and a hammer. I mean, they could be talking, Capricorn may have an interest in talking about like building things, construction, maybe Capricorn's done a lot of do-it-yourself projects. So I feel like they're handy with tools. I feel like Capricorn is handy with tools, and I feel like this person is as well. And I think it's almost like if they have a conversation about things like that, they realize Capricorn's a real deal. Capricorn actually has done things. They genuinely have interest in how things are, measured and, done and constructed. And it just feels like there's a very practical, I feel like this person is very impressed by what Capricorn has worked on, what kinds of jobs Capricorn has done, what kind of skill sets Capricorn has. It really feels like an intellectual appreciation first, but that goes straight to their heart. They're like, I really like this Capricorn. This is a really amazing person. 9 of Cups. It also makes them really happy that somebody like Capricorn has an interest in, like, maybe Capricorn asks them a lot of questions about what they've done for work, what kinds of things they like to do. And it's like a meeting of the minds in regards to hobbies, or this person feels very touched that Capricorn would ask them more about their personal story, their personal life a little bit. I don't know that this person is typically very approachable, so that could be why it seems so unique to them that Capricorn wants to know. Let's say they were in the military or something, like, what was that like? Where did you serve? This could be long hours of dialogue and conversation that just maybe nobody's asked him about his life before, and Capricorn does. And it's like, I've never felt like somebody cared to hear my story, because this does feel like, he didn't know how good it felt to be able to talk, to be able to like have somebody be interested in who he is, almost like he's not used to people taking an interest in him. This feels absolutely amazing. This feels like somebody who came across as very crusty and very gruff and maybe even rude or antisocial. That's not it. It's just that he's not used to someone genuinely, like there's a lot of eye to eye contact. I kind of think the rest of the world's going to fade away. I think Capricorn and this person are just going to be kind of like leaning into the conversation with each other. I don't think it matters how many hours it goes on. I feel like this is two people that find a rapport with each other. I know this does feel kind of like a newer love story that blossoms, but that is what we've got right now. I actually love it though. We have an 8 of Cups. By the time these two walk away, because they're going to have to stop talking at some point in time, I think it's like 8 hours later. I think this is really long. I think it's hard. I don't think either one really wants to go. It's hard to like not just stay in each other's like company. That bodes really, really, really well. I do think that other people, heck, this could be friends who observe this going on, or maybe this is, taking place at a restaurant or something, but it's like other people see this and it's like, oh wow, I literally just watched two people fall in love. It's kind of like a group of people observe this and it's like Capricorn and that person, like we just saw them fall for each other. The attraction, by the time they're leaving, because this conversation does have to end at some point, by the time Capricorn and this person are supposed to part ways, I feel like it's going to be very difficult to part ways because there's a lot of sultry, sexy energy that has kind of been fostered between the two of them. There is all of a sudden a deep sensuality. I don't think it'll be too long before these two interact again. Oh, Capricorns, I love this one for Cap. I absolutely love this one for Capricorn. This feels like new love. Can I just see anything else about when? When does this come in? Sorry, I'm kind of like losing my voice a little bit today. 4 of Swords, 4 of Cups, Ace of Wands. You know what? This feels like a very, very specific story for a Capricorn who has been single for some time, been disappointed in love for quite some time. And kind of they themselves have to make a decision that, universe, I'm ready to meet somebody who is in my greatest and highest good, whomever that may be. I think when Capricorn like makes that statement to the universe, this is not an ex, by the way, not at all. We got nothing to say this is an ex. This is a brand new person for a Capricorn who's kind of maybe been single for a while and been over an ex for a while, but still like, God, am I ever going to meet anybody great? And then it's like, okay, maybe I need to sit down and actually tell the universe, I'm ready to meet somebody great, somebody who would be an awesome match for me. I'm ready for that. This looks fantastic. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Bye.